So there is a huge problem with many high performers, which is eroding your physical health. It's eroding your mental health. It's even eroding your performance at work. But most importantly, it is eroding the relationships that you hold closest to you. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the inability to switch off. And it's something that I've had first-hand experience of the detriments and fallout of not being able to switch off has an impact in your life. So, through this free training, what I want you to do is I want you to take on board what I'm going to say, but also I'm going to deliver you why it is that people struggle to switch off at a root cause level and give you a 3-step tactical strategy that you can implement to help you slowly change your habits and be able to switch off so that it's a stopping point before it goes too far. So let's get into it. So throughout this training, what I'm going to cover is the science of rumination. I'm also going to cover the root causes of why you can't switch off, help you understand a little bit about human behavior, and of course, deliver to you the 3R Shutdown Protocol, something that I've developed over the last 7 years working with different variants of clients through all different walks of life. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that I have had first experience of how brutal and detrimental not being able to switch off has on your whole life, especially your personal life. So what is this picture about? Well, if I get my little laser pen out, right here, where these little fake plants are, that is where I used to lay my mattress in the gym. So when I first left the military, I struggled with being able to switch off. Okay, I thought I needed to prove myself and I not thought I needed to be a success. So I went straight to 10 and put everything into work. What that did was blind me to everything else. And I ended up being kicked out of my girlfriend's house at the time because she'd had enough. I spent all my money reinvesting in the business and I had nowhere to go. So this is a small office in the gym that I used to work, where I used to get up, put the mattress away, train the clients, do the classes, and then when everyone left at 9 o'clock, I would get my mattress out and sleep. And I did that for about 12 months to a year, which is a year. Now, I don't regret that happening because it has brought me to this point. It has shown me my mistakes and I've grown from it. The whole point of me showing you this is not to get sympathy from you, but it's to help you understand that I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to have an inability to switch off more than most people, more than most coaches. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about rumination. Now, unless you are a cow, which I don't think any of you are watching this because that would be weird and cool at the same time. Rumination is bad. So rumination is the negative cycle that we go in when we're thinking about things. There's nothing positive about it. And research shows that ruminating about work or any other things in the past, actually, when we're not there, it significantly disrupts your ability to recover and recharge. It drains you. Even though that you think that you are being productive, it actually drains your batteries even more. We're more likely to experience sleep disturbances, poor eating habits, worse moods, increased risk of cardiovascular disease, impaired executive functioning. Okay, so that full part of your brain, the executive part of your brain, where most of the good decisions that you make, the strategic decisions you make, that's impaired. So actually thinking about work, ruminating whilst you're not at work actually hinders your ability to make decisions. And of course, damaged relationships. And for many of you, ruminating is thinking about incomplete tasks that you need to do, that to-do list that never stops, worry about, is this project going to go over the line? Are we going to get another contract? Are we, did I do this correctly? What does my partner think to this? As in like work partner, not relationship partner. Mental replay. Maybe you had a conference or had a meeting with a client and, you are second guessing yourself and you are replaying that over, criticizing yourself, thinking, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have done that. And also second guessing yourself as well. Did I make the right decision? Did I put the right bids in? Did I hire the right person, etc.? This is all surface level stuff and it probably sounds familiar to you. However, if we look at it in a microscope, there is an underlying reason for all this. And you're not going to like this, but it's fear. Sounds harsh, but if you sat down and actually were honest with yourself, it is fear. Fear of not being good enough, fear of looking stupid and losing respect, fear of loss. Those are the main fears that circle this type of rumination. So at the root cause of it, your ability to switch off is because you think everything is critical. Everything is important. Everything must get done now, because if you don't, you're going to lose everything. Or you're going to lose a certain part, or you're going to look bad, which isn't the case. But it's hard to break this cycle. So the truth about not switching off, or should I say the truth about any habit that we do, any behavior, is we are driven by two forces. We are either driven away from pain or attracted towards pleasure. Now, I've already said that fear is the root cause of why you can't switch off. So most of you that not or can't switch off, especially in my example, was the fear and the pain of not making it, of, being a loser, of, leaving the military during COVID, being fucking stupid and not waiting for the right time. So any habit that we do, even the bad habits, serve a purpose. So it's critical for you to understand there is a reason why you are doing it, and there is a reason why it's hard to break this habit. And it comes down as well to this word identity, who we are. Many of you pride yourself on being busy, on being overworked. Pride might not be the right thing or the right concept to say, but you wear it as a part of who you are. I'm the high achiever. I need to push forward all the time. I need to do this. I need. So when we're looking to move from not being able to switch off to being able to switch off, that's a goal in itself. And to achieve that goal, achieve that transformation of those habits, requires maybe not a new identity, but broadening your identity, increasing your identity's parameters. And part of that is standards, non-negotiables. Tony Robbins says it the best, that we don't get what we want, we get what we have to have. So part of being able to switch off is formulating a new identity that has a set of non-negotiables, a set of standards, that I am no longer a person that brings their work home, that ruminates, that lets it get in the way of personal relationships. Because many of you didn't set out on this journey and become successful to have your life cave in around you. So let's get into the 3R shutdown protocol. I tried to be cleverer and do like R cubed, like R with a little 3, but it didn't look as good. So I just went with a 3R shutdown protocol. Now, before I get into this, many of you are from different walks of life professionally. And this is not me saying that this is a black and white sort of switch. That you never, ever, ever have to work late, or you never, never, never have to bring work home with you. Many of you are working on your own, you're self-employed like myself. You know, I'm running 3 businesses, and when a new franchise location opens up, I have to push the boundaries a little bit. But this is about you having control and finding balance and picking your battles. Some opportunities will be too good to miss, and you will have to. Obviously, that requires communication with the rest of your life around you at home. But the 3R shutdown protocol is about bringing you back into alignment. So, first one, ritualize. Now, don't get sort of put off by the picture. I'm not saying that you have to burn incense and sit in the lotus position and meditate. That's not what I'm doing. But you need to set up a ritual or a routine to shut off. This includes time boundaries. Okay. So I work pretty much from 8 till 8. And at 8 o'clock, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, I stop work. Control or delete, shut down. I then will go out for a shutdown walk, as I like to call it, where I listen to music, process my day, and then when I get back, if I've had any like aha moments, I will write them down, which is really important for the last protocol, which I'll come on to a bit. So setting different environments, especially when you're working for home, is crucial. Having a separate office space or a place where you just do work, and then effectively shutting everything off when you finish work. Even you go down to the details of changing clothes, getting out your work clothes, those that wear work clothes and not just like a shirt with nothing on at the bottom, is paramount. Once you've done that, we then need to restrict. So many times clients have come to me and said, I'm on my phone at night, replying to emails. This is what we need to restrict, because nothing good can come when you're hanging out of your hoop and you're tired, you replying to an email at 11 o'clock. So what I do is, and what I get most of my clients to do, if applicable, which most of it is making sure that you are restricting your laptop time, as in you're switching off and putting it away. You're disabling notifications on your phone, especially your emails. If possible, have 2 phones. Have a personal phone and a work phone, because that will help set boundaries. And then any talk of work or any input of work or any sort of visual cues of work should be out of sight as well, because then you're encroaching onto your shutdown space. Lastly is, I talked about getting my ideas off my head onto paper. Now, a lot of people overthink struggle with overwhelm because of poor mind management. Now, we talked about rumination at the beginning. The opposite to rumination is problem solving. The problem is when you are in rumination mode, this negative cycle, there is a tint of fight or flight, of stress. Now, what happens there from a psychological point is, as I've already stated, your blood gets diverted from your impaired executive function because you are in protection mode, goes down to your amygdala so you can fight or flight, basically. Remember, there is no distinction in your brain from a physical threat and stress response to an emotional threat stress response. So if you're trying to problem solve and you're thinking about work, trying to get solutions, and you're stressed, that's not going to go down well from you because blood has been diverted from the part of the brain that you need. So there are some tactics that we can use to bring us back into homeostasis. And then once you've done that, you can then start to problem solve because you've calmed yourself down and you're out of protection mode and you are in growth mode. You can't protect and grow at the same time mentally. It's just not going to happen. So all this ideas you've got in your head or problems you've got in your head, you need to get it out of your head. Otherwise, it's going to stay there for the rest of the night. Now, this is something that I do with my clients that are struggling with sleep and they're struggling with their brain keeping going, is I get them to have a pen and paper at their bedside table, and anything that they are worried about or ruminating about, they get off out of their head onto a piece of paper. And then instead of worrying about it and saying, oh, I've got to do this, find a way to either fit it in your schedule or find a surface level solution and then write down when tomorrow you're going to think about it. When this happens, you need to do the actions. Otherwise, your brain will be just like, your unconscious will be, well, you said that last night, but you didn't do it. So you need to stick to your guns. So redirecting is about turning from rumination to problem solving. So hopefully you have found this free training insightful. Now, one of my key sayings is knowledge isn't power. Application of knowledge is power. So take this 3R protocol and implement it into your life. And I guarantee you will start building better boundaries with yourself and being able to switch off. Don't expect things to happen overnight. This is a habit that has been ingrained upon you for a long time. Your body's got used to it. Your body's got used to the stress and the actions and the reward, the seeking pleasure or avoiding pain that it brings you. However, if you are struggling and you would like a little bit more of a one-to-one support, send me a message and we can just have a quick chat. This is one of the many things that I deliver in my elite performance protocol, part of my mastery system. So if you'd like to find out more about that, you know where I am. If not, take this away and implement. Good luck.